you've just gotten on board with John Kasich. We were talking during the break about his previous presidential run. What do you see in him now that makes him ready to run?
Well, back in the 90s when he thought about it, he had just been in the House. He'd been a good member of the House, chairman of the Budget Committee, very active on armed services. I had a great relationship with him, but I just didn't think he was, old enough or quite ready for it. But since then, he's been out in the private sector. I think he learned a lot there, and then being elected governor and reelected to a big, important state, Ohio, where he's done the same thing he did in the Congress. A lot of people took credit for the balanced budget and the surplus and the tax cuts that we had in the late 90s. But John Kasich, the last man I talked to before I had the last conversation with Bill Clinton about the budget deal was John Kasich. He knew more about it and did more in terms of writing, along with Pete Domenici than anybody else. So I think he's got the whole package, He's the right age. He's got the right kind of character. Right. He's got the experience of dealing with the budgets, and he's not a guy who just talked about what he would like to do. He's done it. He's got a vision of what he wants to do again, and I think being governor of Ohio, that's a big state.
So those are all experience points, right? Mostly, right? There's a character question. Yeah. There are many people who knew Kasich back in the 90s. We did. People said he was impetuous, he was a hothead, he had a temper, he wasn't mature enough, and now they see a different kind of character in him. Do you see that too?
Well, I mentioned character.
Well, talk a little more about that. How's he changed?
Yeah, look, he was more aggressive. I mean, he's an athlete. He was had very strong opinions, and I think he had some disagreements on the budget process, but he has matured and aged, and I think he's got a confidence about him that's very important. I feel he's ready. I didn't think he was in the 90s. I think he is now.
16 candidates in this race now. Yeah. I know you think Kasich can be nominated. Yeah. Who else can be nominated at this point?
Well, I think we got a great team, and I've been good friends with several.
I know. So which of your good friends could also be nominated?
Well, I do think
Bush. Would Bush be nominated?
He could. Yeah, sure.
Could Walker be nominated?
He could, although I don't see that he's putting it together. Yeah.
Rubio.
I like Marco Rubio very much.
How about Trump? Could Donald Trump be nominated?
No, I don't think so.
Don't think so. Why not?
Well, I just again, I don't think he has the right kind of experience. It's one thing to talk about how we're going to win. That's great. I like that. I want to make America great again and all that. But I haven't seen any policy. I don't know what he would actually do. I'm not sure he realizes it. It's like a lot of what's going on in Washington now. I agree philosophically with a lot of the people that are making profound statements in Washington, like Ted Cruz. But his tactics don't work. Right. But you got to have the right philosophy, the right experience, the right policy, and the ability to know how to get it done. That's what others are missing.
Those are good reasons for you not to be supporting Donald Trump. Just on the question of can he be the nominee. He's a guy who's leading by a lot in the national polls. Sure. He's leading in every early state by a lot. Yeah. What is it that, beyond the questions of why you might not support him, what do you think is actually standing in his way of being the Republican nominee, given his strength right now?
Well, first of all, I do think that he is indicative of a stirring that's going on. I saw an article in one of the newspapers about how the fact that Bernie Sanders is running the way he is, and Donald Trump, it's telling us something. We better pay attention to it. People don't like what's going on in Washington, or to be more specific, not going on in Washington. When was the last time that Washington Congress, the president, did something that really amounted to something for the future of our country? What we're missing in Washington now is real, true leadership. Men and women that know how to work together and make the system work for the good of the country. So I think that, the fact that he is taking on the media, quite frankly, and the fact that he gets in people's face, and if you slap him around a little bit, he'll double down on you. And a lot of people like that. But again, I just don't think he has the experience, and I don't think he knows how difficult some of these things are.
If there were a primary held in your state of Mississippi today, who would win it?
He'd be very competitive.
He'd win it today, though, right? He'd win it today.
He probably would. Ted Cruz has got supporters in Mississippi, but we're already well organized for Kasich. We have a state chairman. We have a congressman that's committed to him. We have the key county chairman that are committed to Kasich. We're ready to go in Mississippi.
If Hillary Clinton's the Democratic nominee, will she be hard to beat or easy to beat in the general election?
I think she'll be hard to beat because she does have a certain appeal, and a lot of people, Democrats and women, are realize it's a historic event. But I do think we can beat her. I think the American people are not going to want a third Obama term, and that's what you'd get with Hillary.
Let me ask you about this debate tonight. Your guy, John Kasich. At the end of the night, how are we going to know whether he did well or not well? What are you looking for from your guy?
Well, I want to see him do what he did last time. Talk about who he is, because he's still more than most of them introduced himself to America. I mean, they would know him in the Midwest, perhaps, and within the party. But he needs to do that. He needs to talk about what he's going to do. And I know the things he will do because he's done it. So he needs to stay on message. don't get tangled up in a little fracas that may be going on over here. You keep your focus. You talk about yourself and what you want to do for America. You'll be fine.
If Scott Walker takes a swing at him, you think he should swing back?
I don't think Scott Walker will do that. Really? No, I don't. I wouldn't if I were he. I've watched a lot of campaigns where you have more than two running, and usually when two of them start shooting each other, the third one benefits.
Yeah.
So I'd be careful about.
Is this the craziest nomination fight you've seen so far?
It's different from any we've seen before. But again, we've got some great men and women in this race. I like a whole bunch of them. I just think, all things considered, that Kasich is the man that can get the job done because he's done it before.
Okay, Senator Lott, thanks so much. Good luck to your side tonight. We appreciate you coming by.
Thank you very much.